Ah, the guillotine. Quick, efficient, and insanely messy. It's easy to picture the blade dropping, the head rolling, and the crowd cheering. But what about after? Who had to deal with all that blood? Because, spoiler alert, there was a lot of it. Well, welcome to Gross History, where we answer the nastiest historical questions you never knew you needed to ask. Today, we're talking about the cleanup crew for one of history's most infamous execution devices. None other than the guillotine. Yes, I know it's pronounced differently in French, but as you can hear, I, Dr. Nigel Islington, am not French, so I'll be pronouncing the word as I see fit. It's the French Revolution, and the guillotine is working overtime. During peak usage like the Reign of Terror, there were days where dozens of people got the chop. That means rivers of blood pooling around the scaffold, soaking into the wooden planks, and spilling onto the streets. If you think cleaning up after a house party is bad, imagine trying to mop up a massacre. The first line of defense? Sand. Lots and lots of sand. More sand than you can shake a French baton at. Before an execution, workers would dump sand around the scaffold to soak up the blood, like an 18th century crime scene cleanup kit. Afterward, they'd just sweep up the sand, blood and all, and cart it away. Cheap, simple, and only slightly traumatizing. But what about the scaffold itself? Wood is not great at resisting bloodstains. After a while, the execution platform started to reek. The solution? Buckets of water. Officials would dump water over the scaffold, scrubbing it down between executions. In some cases, they even used vinegar, partly to disinfect, but mostly to mask the stench of death. Fun fact, it didn't work. Eyewitnesses described execution sites as permanently smelling like blood, rot, whatever was left of the last guy. And then there were the heads and bodies. The executioner's assistants, yes, plural, because this was a team effort, would load the bodies onto carts and haul them off to mass graves. But sometimes, especially during high-profile executions, people would rush in to grab souvenirs, because carrying around a severed ear is totally normal. So, in short, sand, water, vinegar, and a complete disregard for OSHA regulations, that's how they cleaned up after the guillotine. And if you think that's disgusting, just wait until you hear about how long some heads stayed conscious after decapitation. But that's a story for another day. This has been Gross History. Let us know in the comments, what's the most revolting historical fact you want us to cover next?